We started off to build an extension, and then we wanted to just move a few walls and make a couple of rooms bigger.
We only had a certain amount of money.
So we've had a lot of work done here. It's not finished, and they're out of money. You should have had this whole job done for $200,000. Don't cover things up. It won't work.
We didn't think we'd got the house the way we did.
$200,000. They bled them dry for crap. They're out of their house for a year. Crap! Now I gotta come in and fix it. Mike Holmes, look at this. Is that garbage or what? Look, you buggers, they haven't vented anything. This is ridiculous. Everything is wrong. I've decided now to gut it. Take it all down.
Mike Holmes, I love you.
Me too. You want a good job to keep me in shape? Be a contractor. Unacceptable. God, I love my job.
We wanted to downsize, so we were looking for a smaller home. So we were driving around looking, and we saw this house. We just fell for it. Just once you came into the house, we just thought we had to buy it.
We didn't ever think we could afford this type of area. And then it was the real estate agent that we had that sold our other house and had sent us a listing of this house. And when we saw this house, we thought, oh my God, you know, it's sort of within our price range. So we put in an offer. Then we had a surveyor look it over. We only had a certain amount of money that we knew we had to work, you know, play with. We looked at what the surveyor said had to be done. We thought we can cope if we do a lot of the rough work ourselves. And I mean, that began our journey.
We'd planned originally to take down the old sunroom and the deck that had rotted away, and then we wanted to just move a few walls, take them and make a couple of rooms bigger. It was supposed to be fairly minor.
Bill, Marie.
Oh, hi.
How you doing?
Nice to meet you, Mike.
Nice to meet you. So we've had a lot of work done here. Well, tell me a little bit about it.
We started off to build an extension, 20 feet by 8 feet, to replace an existing sunroom which was built on top of a deck, which the deck had rotted. So we wanted to build an extension on a proper foundation, and then some interior renovation, not much. Take down a couple of walls, make some rooms different.
So you didn't plan on doing the whole house, as I see here. It looks like you're doing everything.
We went to an architect and we asked was things feasible, so we got drawings showing which walls we could take down and which walls, where the new walls would go up. So it was 3 walls.
And I see you're well set up here. We have pictures, we have everything. I like that.
And we have our permits.
I like that. They did all the right things. Took the recommendations from the architect.
The architect said under his agreement he would find us a contractor. So I met him here, and we shook hands. We had nothing in writing. We took this guy just because he was recommended.
We have a little bit of structure issues that I see, nothing serious. Obviously, I have a lot of floor leveling to do because one thing I don't want to do is step up all the floors. It's a bungalow. We shouldn't have step-ups. We're here, you know, let's do it the right way. See the old floor on top of the old planks, on top of original planks.
Yes.
So there's quite the 3 system here. I will have to resheet everything, bring it down to a trueness so that from the living room to the kitchen, we have no step up or down. We'll pull down the drywall instead of trying to patch into that. I want to pull down this. What am I gonna do? Piece the top? I don't like that. And besides, now I get to see what's behind it, see if everything is done properly. I take it your chimney height has to go up higher from what I saw from outside. I noticed that you have a lot of insulation even in interior walls, so you want to try and soundproof the home?
Soundproof it, yeah.
He said he needed 1 check right away for the material, which is totally reasonable as far as we're concerned.
Sounded good. Made a deal with the man, no real contract.
I gave him a check for $25,000, which you could cash immediately. And I gave him a check for 4 weeks later for $20,000. So $45,000 I gave him. He said that was enough to do the frame. And he said 4 weeks time it'll all be done. Yeah. About 4 or 5 weeks later, the foundations were in, the blockwork was done, and there was no floor here, and that was done. And then I said to the contractor, well, when's the rest? He said, it's only 3 or 4 days, don't worry about it. But we've run out of money, and I need another $25,000.
And this is the kitchen, I take it? Nice.
And this was originally the dining room, and we thought it was far too small, so we decided to make this area the kitchen.
Great idea. Bedrooms, bathrooms this way.
We're redeveloping the bathroom. The bathroom was very small and didn't have a shower. We don't have a lot of space, but we made it as big as we could.
In-floor heating. Was this done after the fact of the plumbing?
Yeah.
Plumber came in, he set up the shower tray, set up the tub, everything's ready. Heating came in afterwards, conventional in-floor heating, which I totally agree and I like. However, this floor is not ready for it. We have a bad layout within the wood structure itself, so I don't even like that. So this has to definitely be addressed.
Eventually, I said to him, you've got to account for our $70,000. He told me his subcontractors it cost him $60,000 to build. And he said, well, I get 35%. And he came back and said, oh, if I walk now, you need to pay me another $25,000. That's us wiped out, because $25,000, that's $100,000, and we've got a frame.
Be a man of your word. You said $100,000 for that addition. Finish it for $100,000.
In the end, we paid him an extra $5,000 for the GST, and we said $75,000 he's gone, and we bid a big sigh of relief. And now we've got to do the rest.
So, what has happened here? It started with the addition, and I assume you end up getting talked into doing the whole place since you're here?
We didn't think we'd got the house the way we did. It's just that when we took down the first wall and saw what was there, you just couldn't stop.
They found mold, they found ventilation issues.
What it was a lot of decay and a lot of neglect, and a lot of patching on top of patches. Marie said to me, you can't just fix things. You can't put a piece of wood there and prop that up. You've got to take it all down, because that's what Mike would do.
So it was my fault? Is that the idea?
No.
You watched the show and you got into it? Well, they blame me because they watch it on the show, and what do they see? Take it down and do it again. So they start doing this. But as it goes, they realize it's the way to do it, because structurally it was no good anymore, the electrical was no good anymore, it needed to be replaced.
We're quite pleased it's in the state it's there, because now we know it's clean, it's aired, and we know what's above us, what's below us.
Now tell me, how much did this cost you?
We spent $185,000, and that doesn't include anything we bought, like toilets or the kitchen cabinets.
So you're over 200.
Oh, way over 200.
Must be now, by now, yeah.
You should have had this whole job done for $200,000, completely finished. Over $200,000 later, what do we see? It's not finished, and they're out of money. Well, you don't live here, obviously.
No.
Where are you living?
With my daughter.
With my daughter. My daughter lived with us for 20-odd years, and we think it's our revenge. We've moved back.
How long has this been?
Well,
Just a year, 29th of July.
Last
year.
Yeah, we love our daughter, but I think it's right that she should get her life back.
They're out of their house for a year. A year this month, they're out of their home. They're out of money, they're out of luck, and they don't know who to call. You go back to your daughter's house, okay? You relax 1 month, and I'm gonna send you home.
Thanks.
Okay?
Thanks, Mike.
I'm gonna take care of this. Okay.
Thanks, Mike.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Look at the floor in there. Did you see that floor? It won't work. So, what has happened here?
We didn't think we'd got the house the way we did.
It's not finished, and they're out of money. Hey guys. Ready to take this place.
Yeah, good.
And make it right. Our flooring is a major issue because what we have is such different heights right from the addition, living room, kitchen to bedroom. I think what we're going to be doing is start stripping. I don't want to go too far. Let's pull up this mahogany, which is going to be a pain in the butt. Let's pull up the plywood. There's where we see why we've gone up. See that? We see 3/4 inch plywood. Is that 3/4 or 5/8? That's 5/8?
That's 5/8.
Yeah, and yet we have a piece down here. Now, I'm guessing there was a hole in the floor into this, and we're about to find out. This has now created a high point. Never gonna work. I have too much flexibility right here to tile over. This is why we pull things up. This is a good structure for me to work with. We're not gonna touch this. We're gonna fill this point here, and we'll work off of this height.
There's still another subfloor even underneath this one. By the time we get this down, we'll be back to our proper height, which is what they should have done before they put these walls up. They should have had the floors all level.
Here's the addition. This is brand new. This is what blows me away. I could feel it was unlevel. And so I brought in my level. I just want to see how much it's unlevel. Now, it's not a ton, but this is brand new. There's no reason whatsoever this can't be perfectly level.
Doesn't look too good, man.
No, it doesn't look too good. Look what we're finding. All kinds of goodies.
Mikey!
What's underneath the insulation?
It's like Ben thinks it's a tongue and groove ceiling.
We have 2x4 span here. We have different height from this point over to here. What's holding this up now? I don't even know. We're gonna pull all this out, restructure it. Something tells me this was an opening years ago and closed in incorrectly. What I'm thinking is dropping that wall, this wall, restudding it for strength. I don't see a proper load bearing at all in here. Don't cover things up. It won't work. Look at the floor in there. Did you see that floor? It won't work. We see too much movement in this wall. That tells me there's not enough structure. And here's the funny thing. These nails are hard to pull. That's actually bit into something. So they're gonna work for the drywall. But these other screws and nails that I'm pulling out, such as this right here, did we hit anything? No. No. Not enough. So what is this screwed into? That's my question. We can see the old roof line. We can see how many changes are in here. Old roof line, which tells me this was the exterior wall at one point. This room is an addition. This is now the master bedroom. So we definitely have a load bearing at this point. What is holding it? An insufficient load. Yes, no doubt about it. That's why it's coming down. It's going to be new. Steel tar paper, and that's another sign that tells me this was an exterior wall. Talk about pea stay. This is not the way to do it. And if this was an exterior wall holding up this roof line, look at it. I might have to put in a temporary supporting wall to take this down on both sides. Found out through talking to Bill, this was the old fireplace. It is structured underneath this. We have floor joists running this way, carried load here, so all I have to do is put in filler strips and then sheet over top of it. Everybody wonders, why is my drywall cracking? Because we do not have proper structure tied in to allow no movement. We don't want movement. To put my studs this way instead of this way, to continue to cross as we go, and look how they build up. What, we have two 2x2s here. Two 2x2s, not a 2x4. Two this way, okay? We continue across, and what do we see? We see a 2x4 this way with a piece ripped down to build it out. Come on, guys. Take it down and build one wall. It took longer to do this than it would to take it down and build a whole new wall.
This is the load-bearing wall of the old cottage, and there is some concern about it shifting a little bit. So we've got 2x6 top plate supported underneath the ceiling joist that supports this rafter, and 1, 2, 3 of those.
By the end of the day today, we are going to make sure that we tear the rest of this wall down, put up a 2x6 wall here, finish off the 2x4 wall directly across, do a quick cleanup, and we'll be back to do it again tomorrow. We want to make sure it's structured strong, so we will build this up in detail, and it'll be strong. It'll be right, and I won't have to come back and fix it. What I'm thinking is dropping that wall, this wall, restudding it for strength. Day 2.
Hey, how's it going?
Day 2. Good. Yesterday we finished up the Load-bearing wall. As you can see, we have a double top plate. We chose to use a 2x6 wall to get to the distance from the outside on this side. And if I walk through the bedroom, that we're nice and true across here. Now we don't have that jut out here that was before. 2 inches of drywall on this and trying to put up another layer of drywall. Now we're back to structure and it works out perfect. I'll bring Frank in today to get the electrical back down. In the kitchen, we've prepped all the floors. Sean spent the whole day doing this. So we built it up. We put on the half-inch plywood to bring it to this level. He's also planed the floor to get it into detail. So when we resheet this with the 5/8 over top, it'll now give us a fairly level floor to work with for the tiles. Minimum core requirements is 2x8 on a 12-foot span is acceptable, and it's not to me because there's too much movement. As long as there's movement in that floor, when I walk across it, you will crack the grout. Minimum the grout. How many times you want to grout? You want to grout every year? No, we want to make sure it's structured strong. So we will build this up. So now we'll go over this with 5/8, then we'll put down an underlaid floor under the tiles, and it'll be strong. It'll be right. And I won't have to come back and fix it. Frankie.
How are you, sir?
Not so bad yourself. Got a few things for you to do, nothing serious. We want to make sure we put in, we'll drill these back in place. We have some wall sconces, one approximately here, the other approximately here. Here's the other wire which leads off of that. We're going to move that receptacle and I believe bring that one line on the right there up to the center. I just take a good look at all the electrical, make sure it's up to code. Let's make sure we get a 2x4 top plate on top of this, right across, tied into the beam, tied into the header here. We have too much movement on the ceiling with 2x4.
Way too much. I was thinking
Right.
we should block it in between, too.
No, it ain't gonna help. Just go right across the top, screw it down, screw it in, and that'll brace the center.
Okay.
Anytime you're dealing with trying to tie new into old, you really have to use your imagination on how to solve problems. Great example is this floor. Sure, it took us 2 days, but now we have a perfectly true and level floor. What a difference. I doubt very much that Bill knew buying this house that there was 4 additions on it. I doubt very much he knew that. My guess is he had no idea till he started pulling things up. You know, we know that there was addition on each side of this house, including the front. And now the back, so it's all 4 sides. And to tie into that, especially when really from day one, nobody really knew what they were doing, even to today, you know, to come in here, now we gotta fix up what the other guys did. We had our pass today for our structure. Now we're gonna get ready to insulate everything, vapor barrier, finish all the tuck taping, and right to drywall. Good morning. Bringing in a whole lot of drywall today. Des and Binge were here yesterday, and they have completely finished the installation vapor barrier. The inspector came in yesterday afternoon, and everything has been passed. We've got these maniacs in here that are going to drywall this in one day, and I just love these guys. I really do. They're really talented. It's what they do, drywall. Always want to make sure that we drywall the ceiling first. That way when we drywall the wall, it helps hold up the ceiling and stops cracking in the corners. Very important you drywall the ceiling first. They have been drywalling for not even an hour, and almost the ceilings are done. He's already started the walls. Look at this. It's because they know what they're doing. We noticed they're nailing all the sheets, and yes, I talk about screwing everything, but this is really the most efficient way to do a massive drywall job. You nail all the outside edges. They use ring nails. Once the house is done, they'll go through and screw everything. To come in afterwards and screw everything in between now helps hold it up really nice and tight, and it just saves time. 2 hours, done. Unbelievable.
We're redeveloping the bathroom. The bathroom was very small and didn't have a shower.
In floor heating. First of all, we have a bad layout within the wood structure itself, so I don't even like that. Well, the reason this won't work as is, and we have to look at it, is we have so many joints in the floor of irregular floors. Old floor to work that's been done, pulled up, and obviously replaced with crappy plywood. What's going to happen is if I pour a concrete pad over this, it will snap at these joints. And when it snaps, it'll pull the tile with it. It'll break the tile, it'll break the grout. We don't want that. So let's pull all the clips. Don't use your hammer. We do not want to pierce this whatsoever. Use your sidelines, use something. Pull all the clips, save the clips, and then pick up the whole coil and get it into the tub. Be very gentle, but very cautious. We got to clean the floor. We get a thin set coat down on top of this, okay?
Okay.
We should also clear out that tub too and get ready for a water test on that.
Okay. Excellent.
We want to run the tub first before it's actually permanent. What I want to make sure is that it is not leaking at all from the inside. Even though it was factory tested, it's been shipped over, it's been moved around. We want to make sure it's not leaking now before we actually close it in. Because to come back and take apart all the tile and everything else to get to that tub is not a good thing. Well, I'm pretty satisfied it's not leaking. What Pete is doing here is just throwing up the wet tape. He's made a mix in the box, really just with the compound, mixed it all in with the paper tape, and he's just slapping it up. Hobbles following him with the applicator. He smooths it right out to a 90-degree corner. You can see how it just finishes it perfectly. So once this dries, putting on the second coat is just a piece of cake. Personally, I like mesh tape, but the pros use paper tape, and I have no arguments as long as it's done correctly.
People make the mistake, they have they leave the edges maybe like this, then it's a lot more sanding and it becomes, the job probably won't end up as good.
I just want to look at how we're going to do the concrete board. We're going to make this 100% mold free, and that's the idea of using the cement board.
Absolutely. It's the only way.
So if you can get going on this, get that nailing edge in and start closing up everything to do with the concrete board first, then we'll get going on the green. I'll start in the kitchen.
Well, putting up cement board in your bathroom is like making a bathroom out of concrete. So I like cement board just for the added longevity it's going to give your washroom. It's going to be the last thing that goes in your home, hopefully. And that's rare. Usually, people are doing washrooms every 4 to 5 years. Why is that? That's because people are using drywall, they're chintzing out. You're spending maybe an extra $200 to do a whole washroom. But at the end of a $20,000 bathroom, is $200 or $300 a lot of money? Hell no.
You want to make this square as possible before you work on the tile. Because if not, then you got to play with the tile and it's...
Well, if you start with a square structure,
with a square,
it's
yeah,
it just be a lot easier for cutting tile and everything.
Yeah. That's it. That's the last sheet. Get the board up here now and start getting ready to tile.
This is the subfloor that we're going to lay for underneath the tile. Very important. Even though we are thick on the floor, this is what gives us really the break between the floor and the tile. It allows movement, but not the tile. That's the important part. Now we've made sure that we wash the floor before we actually start the thin set. Because I want it clean. One thing we have to keep in mind is thin set does not stick to dirt. As you can tell, I'm trying to make it as even as possible. Stay away from any high spots, because that'll just be really a blob underneath the subfloor. It's going to be a very nice kitchen when it's done. Very nice. It's going to be a very nice house when it's done. Hey, Bill.
This is Sarah, my daughter.
Hi,
Sarah,
how are you?
nice to meet you. You're the one that wrote the letter.
That's right.
All right.
The daughter.
So you just come to check on progress here?
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, come on in. Well, I'm sure it looks a little different.
Very.
Made a few changes because there was, honestly, a few mistakes.
The ceilings are all level now when you go through. Remember, they were all different heights.
There weren't no ceilings.
So what made you write this little story and send it to me?
I wanted to get them into their house.
More than anything, it wasn't get out of your hair. It was really to get them in their own home.
Sure,
right?
they're welcome in my house, but to get them into their own house. You want your house, you want it done, you have dreams of what your house is going to be. This is the house they were going to retire to.
Well,
to buy a
makes
house
sense.
and not move in a whole year, I would be very frustrated by that.
It's going to be a challenge to finish on time, but I guess you're committed to finish on time, and
That's my job.
You've given my wife, you've given Maria a move-in date.
When you set a date, if you're a professional, that date happens.
Even if he didn't make the date, I'd still be happy. But it's a thing with pride with him, he's going to make it.
So for me, it's set. You'll be coming home, and there's no doubt in my mind.
I only have one problem in this whole thing is I would have loved to have helped Mike. You know, I think he should have let me do some tiling or something.
You've been here every day, and I've watched you. You've cleaned up. You've offered your services, and I don't see that too often.
I have a new career now. I can be a clearer-upper to
So you got to start somewhere.
You have to, yeah.
This is the subfloor that we're going to lay for underneath the tile. Well, we're at day what? Day 6. Not bad, eh? We've done a lot of work, restructured, insulated, drywalled. We have now 2 coats of plaster up. They're trying to do the 3rd coat, but I had to send them home today. It's not dry. We have so much humidity in the air. It's taking a long time for that compound to dry. We've had a lot of success with the kitchen. We have re-leveled the floor. We've laid down the subfloor before the tiles. We have the porcelain tiles. These are very nice. I like porcelain because it's continuous right through the tile rather than ceramic where it's only glazed over the top, so it's a quality tile. Today, we're gonna start the tile in the kitchen and throughout the hallway. I'm not worried about laying the subfloor in the closet. It's not a walking area. It doesn't bother me. We're gonna get the foam tray down because today we're gonna have Todd come in, the plumber. So it's gonna be a busy day. A lot of fun. I'm not worried about cuts today if we can just start laying full tiles. I'm gonna try and even it from the doorway to the cabinet, that it looks square, even if we have to shift. The standard way of really laying tiles that everybody's used to is just continue it in a row, right? So it goes throughout the floor. But because it's a nice off-white tile, it's gonna make it look like a hospital. So let's lose that. Let's try and stagger this, give it a little bit of characteristic, rather than a hospital look. This keeps it square, but breaks it up. I like it.
So now on this next course, I want to get center of the tile. Tiles from the manufacturer aren't exactly precise. They could be off by a 32nd or a thou. So you gotta, as you're laying them down, manipulate them and work them so that aesthetically, when you look at it, it looks as best as you can get it.
We're going to be using a foam-based flooring in the bathroom, and what this does is it gives us a thermal break from underneath. We've fixed up the floor. We put some high-quality thin set within the floor, a couple of layers. It's really just to help level it and fill in them cracks that we don't want. What this does is it just stops the heat from transferring from the floor into the walls. We want to keep it within the floor and want to keep it on your feet. Applies rather easy. It doesn't take long. Now we'll put in the foam. This gives us a thermal break from the basement underneath, and it's a floating floor. You do not glue this down in place at all. What happens is once we lay it out, it does not bond to the floor underneath. We have the edger, which gives us also a thermal break from the floor to the wall. We do not want to put heat into the wall. Where do we want heat? We want it under our feet. So thermal break means we allow heat to rise and not run down. Well, in-floor heating, when you're using water, the theory behind it is that you heat up the water, it gets pumped through the system, and it radiates heat from the hot water in the pipe. And it works very well because what it does is keeps your feet warm. When your feet are warm, you are warm. It radiates it, it does not blow it. This line that I'm putting in here is for the thermostat. It's just a wire that comes up, it reads the temperature in the floor. So I just put a longer nail in the clip. I want that held down.
Okay, we're using double-sided tape here. Because what we're gonna do is drape plastic over the windows so when we spray, we don't get the windows dirty. The reason we're spraying is because to prime this by a roller, would take a tremendous amount of time and energy. Whereas if I spray it and everything's taped off properly, a room like this will take about 10 minutes. Plus it's a lot less tiring. So if we spray, basically it's saving us time, saves the client money, and gets the job done quicker.
Excellent. We have a very, very dry mix here. Many places they'll call it a dry pack, mortar bed, sand coat. I don't care what you call it. This is what we want to see. What you're looking at, it is not wet. We want to be able to pick it up, bring it into a ball, it's tight into a ball, and breaks. When I wipe my hands off, we have no wet. That's what we're looking for. This is perfect. It compacts very, very nice, very hard, and will dry rock hard. So it is dry. I'm just going to scan it out. I mean, what a way of doing this, eh? A floating ceramic tile floor. You ever hear of that? Really, if you think about this, this is the same way they done it without the foam approximately 200 years ago, was they just laid down a sand bed and then a cement coat over top of it, and they were ready for their tile. And they never had cracks in their grout or cracks in their tiles. You know, what are we doing wrong today? Once this is hardened, which will take, no time at all because it is a dry mix, we'll then do a thin coat of thin set and put down the orange product, which is the membrane on the floor, and tile over top of that. So what have you found?
Well,
Doesn't sound good.
well, it's in low slope for start, eh? It's like a 212 pitch. It should be ice and water under the whole thing. We're a little weak on how the tips have been cut. What did you find down there, Steve?
It's such a low slope, it's flat in a couple of areas.
They cut back the starter course on the perimeter.
Oh, to fake it?
Didn't strip it all, pounded over top. It looks like a hole in there. There's a soft spot that's sunken.
And you're saying they just cut them back? They did too, the buggers. The old shingles, they just cut it back so you didn't see them, and they put in the new ones. Brand new roof, 2 months old. You have more?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, look at the hole there. They didn't even care closing in stuff. The squirrels are gonna make a home in here, chew right through the inside of the attic.
Here, they left the flashing right off because they couldn't see it. You just relied on some caulking.
Look at this. Another home for the animals to come live in, never mind the weather. This is not how we do things.
It's actually below code. It's not right. It's illegal.
We've just drywalled out, we've closed everything in on the inside. We come up on the roof now, just add a couple of vents, thinking it's a brand new roof. Don't worry, it's a great roofing company. And look at this. It's gonna leak on all my new stuff? I wanna call them personally. Tell them what I saw. I gotta tell Bill. You know what? I just about had it with the people that have been in this house. I thought for sure the roofing company would be at least half decent. I looked at the soffit, the fascia. Everything that you can't see is completely crap. As far as I'm concerned, this whole roof has to come up and be redone. I'm not impressed, Bill.
There's no reason that shouldn't have been right. I mean, we didn't haggle the price. We didn't ask for a cheap job. We just said, we wanted a proper roof.
Rob's gonna make this right. He's gonna fix everything, and it doesn't matter. I told him, do whatever it takes. I don't care what you have to take up. Fix it.
How does the homeowner know when they get a job done and they pay the good money that it's the right job? How do we know?
Shame on you guys. Absolutely shame on you.
Before you came here 2 hours ago, if someone had phoned me up, I'd have given this company a reference.
Reputable company, my ass.
What's next?
We come up on the roof now, just add a couple of vents, thinking it's a brand new roof. Don't worry, it's a great roofing company. And look at this. Well, right now we're stopping traffic to get the vehicles in here. We've decided yesterday we're gonna pull the whole roof. We're not gonna mess with it. Half of it is no good, but I don't wanna leave the other half. I have worries, I have issues that we're gonna have a problem in the future. You know what, we're finishing the house completely. Why should I leave half a roof and give me a bad name? We're taking it all down. It's a real pain on my side because the roof I did not expect. I thought I was throwing in a couple of vents and that was it. So it widened the job just a little bit. Hey, Brian, we gotta go down far on this?
First of all, the chimney's too short, okay? And we can't tuck point this, we can't repair it. So we're gonna take it down to the roof line.
Okay.
And we're gonna extend it an additional 2 feet.
Because they did put on an addition on the back, which has now exceeded the roof line. This was the old peak of the roof line. Now we're up another probably 3 feet. So we have to be up over the roof is the whole idea. So that's why Brian's here today. He's going to extend this up, but obviously we have to take it down so far down to go up. We got to bring it down to solid structure. This is just not solid enough. You could see as he was pulling it apart, it just crumbled.
I got the same brick, which is a red rug. The difference is it's a slight tone lighter, only because the older brick is aged. So sooner or later, this will age and it'll get darker.
So what do you think?
The homeowner had mentioned it was done in cold weather, and I'm sure the guys didn't want to be here long, so they put it on as quickly as they could. And that's really the explanation for, I mean, visually you can tell that it's installed incorrectly.
So it looks like we have no choice. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to salvage any of this. How long do you think this is going to take? You got enough guys here.
Yeah, we brought an army of guys. We'll be probably in and out of here for sure today.
I don't want my work on the inside getting screwed up. Go to it, pal.
In most cases, a lot of homes just require a repair because of an improper installation, but here, I mean, the improper installation is so consistent that it really just requires a complete rehaul, so to speak. And unfortunately, you can't save any of the material.
So this is what we use on flat roofs, not on a peak roof?
Yeah, on a flat roof as a mid-ply.
So they attempted really to do something about this low pitch, but it's not adequate.
No, I mean, they would have been better off with just regular ice and water shield in this situation. Because this in no way adheres to the deck itself. Okay. So in other words, in the occurrence of an ice dam, which starts at the eave, it would just lift up underneath this product, just like it would lift up under a shingle and back in anyway. That's a huge waste of product. That's a pretty expensive membrane they put down. And it's absolutely pointless the way they installed it. Not to mention brand new shingles that we have to tear up.
All right, we're back. We'll let the kitchen guys do their work. They came in and put in their cabinets. I'm not gonna look too close. I have other things on my mind at this moment. I've had Craig in here paint like crazy at the same time. We've been doing a little bit of trim work, and we're just getting ready to do the oak floors in the bedroom and work our way out to the living room.
That's some nice looking wood.
Very nice. I like this. Nice little pieces here. We see the differences in colors. I really like that. It's almost like a birch idea, where the birch is light and dark.
Definitely.
Very nice. So let's just measure off the line, start nailing, and we're good. We're gonna nail where the baseboard and 3/4 round is going to be. Most oak floor installers will put down wax paper simply to slide their wood in place, okay? Another theory is to help hold the dust down that's underneath your product, the oak floor, the new stuff. You don't need it. There is nothing in code or manufacturer's installation that says you have to use a tar paper, or wax paper, or any type of paper underneath the oak floor. You can go directly on it.
All the wood in the house is pine. Pine typically doesn't stain well. So what we've done is we've conditioned all the wood with water. We wipe it with a damp rag to open the pores in the wood, opens the grain, and allows the stain to take more evenly. So what I'm doing is staining all the wood, then about 5 minutes after it's done, I'm just wiping it down with a rag so it gives an even finish all over. And it's actually working really well on these doors. I'm surprised how well the pine's taking the stain.
These guys are animals. They just all in one day come in, attack it, make it done. That's just it. You notice we're using the weather and ice shield throughout the valleys wrapped up over top. Even on top of it, they use the tar paper as a secondary backup. They continue the tar paper up the roof. Minimum code says that we have to have 3 feet of tar paper on the bottom. We prefer to use weather and ice shield at the bottom, and then tar paper continuously through the peak. Today, the weather's gorgeous, and it makes it real simple to do the installation of the shingles. That's one of the biggest problems on this roof here. It was done in sub-zero weather. They were cold, they wanted to go home. Quickly get it done and get out. And they didn't mind cutting the corners, unfortunately. For me, I don't think it's a wise idea to have your roof done in the winter. A couple of reasons. Our shingles are gonna be brittle. You're gonna have problems with it. The guys are gonna be cold, so they're gonna do their damnedest to get the hell out of there so they get back into warmth. So if you can wait till spring, or at least to a moderate temperature, I recommend it. While they're finishing the roof, let me go check on the inside. Keith and Des are finishing the oak floors in this room, looking good. Binge, hanging the doors, I like it. Looks good. Bit by bit, this will get done. How's it going, Mike? Brought your son today?
I did. This is Kurt.
How you doing, Kurt?
Good, how are you?
Not so bad. Nice to meet you, buddy. What's our layout here?
What we're doing here is we met with the customer earlier through the week, and we're going to put a column of shelves down this side with shelving above a hanging section.
Okay.
And then across the back wall is a long hang section with a double hang section beside, with the top shelf all the way around.
We're almost there, eh?
Very close.
They'll be home soon. Time to get this house back. Here they come. This is gonna be fun. Well, we've done a few things. On the outside, we've recapped all your windows, have the shutters up, and we've used a black stain on everything.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's just, oh, it's so fantastic.
Well, we ran into one surprise with your roof. It was a little bit of a depressing day that we had when we went up to put some vents in. I went up on the roof to put in a couple of roof vents because it needed more. And I'm pulling down the whole roof. It wasn't good enough. And the last thing I was going to do was leave it up there so it could flood my work. Come on in. After you.
Oh, my God.
Let's step in. Bill?
God, I can't believe it. Oh, my God, that was...
See the shadow?
Oh, it's incredible.
Now, this was a job because I was a little frustrated with the levels of the floor.
Oh, Mike, it's just... I can't believe it's the same house.
You dropped down your ceiling here to give it character because everything was different from one side to the other.
It's so... I mean, really, it's so classy. Looks really beautiful.
Doesn't look the same since the last time you were here.
No, it's a shock. No, it's totally different.
It's not the easiest thing in the world, I suppose, to run around and take things apart and put them back together again and try and help people. It's a lot of headaches. It's a lot of work. But when you see that look on their face at the end, that justifies everything.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
Oh, look at... Oh. It's like a different house.
Well, let me tell you, we opened up this floor like you wouldn't believe.
Oh my, I must admit, I'm totally floored.
It's nice, isn't it?
Oh, it's more than nice. Can't believe it.
You know, Bill did everything right, didn't he? He dotted his I's, he crossed his T's. He got the permits himself. He set this up into detail. So what happened? Bill wanted to be the general contractor. He thought that by doing it himself, he could save money.
Yeah, I think there's only one thing wrong with this house. There's nothing I can do. You know, there's nothing needs fixing, is there?
Well, really, Bill is a handyman himself. He is. But that doesn't give you the tools you need to run your own project at this scale. This is a big project. $250,000. I could have built him a brand new home.
Oh my God.
Yeah, nice.
Oh my God.
And we ended up taking down a few walls. And we restructured it, did it all again. It's just because I couldn't drywall over it. It was not a straight wall, and it drove me nuts. So
it's just so lovely.
Find the right contractor, someone that has the ability to oversee this job. Take a look at your bathroom.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Now we did a few changes in your bathroom.
Everything is what you pay things.
We have in-floor heating. We used a totally different product on the floor. I think you chose some very nice colors, some very nice tiles.
Oh, the workmanship is really, it's just incredible. My God. It's amazing seeing it all come together.
It's done. It was a lot of work, but it's done. Now they can move out of the daughter's home and back to their own life again 13 months later. Let's see the closet. I brought in a friend of mine.
Oh my God.
Now Bill says this is going to be your closet and he's going to live in a wardrobe.
Oh my God.
Someone believe that.
Oh, this is too much. This is incredible, Mike. Oh my God.
This is yours. You are so welcome.
Oh my God.
They can now just say goodbye to yesterday and hello to today and tomorrow. That works for me. I couldn't wait, so I went and I got a company to pick up your furniture and bring you home today.
It's so strange to see my furniture again. It's nice.
We have your family members here
Oh, hi, Jacob.
Room to run around.
This is Mike the Builder show.
That was awesome.
That is the job.
Yeah,
You know
this
what?
was a
It's
job.
worth everything we do.
Definitely. Excellent, Bill. Excellent, man. He's been one of the nicest guys to work for. He's fabulous.
If only I was a little bit better than a handyman.